Hello. So I want to talk about the site issue. So the first thing is I'm very sorry that like you got interrupted while recording, and it's like silly mistake. The second mistake is very silly, and first one I think I forgot. Generally, I make a Google document when I do something new, and I put every new components in it. But this time I just commented this on Asana, and I missed one thing. So about the remote site setting, we hit two endpoints exactly. One is https login.salesforce.com services or to and token. So this is a standard salesforce.com API endpoint which is used to get the access token and refresh token. So this is the endpoint that we hit using the code that we got from consent screen. So it's like when you go and authorize, we get a code from Salesforce, and then we hit this endpoint with that code to get the refresh token and access token. So this is the first endpoint that we hit, and uh, second is the base URL will be the instance URL, which is technically the domain URL. Now I'm talking about domain URL. So we are working with Lightning components, so uh, we are like sure that there will be the domain URL. So the host will be the domain URL, and then services apex rest, and then this is our namespace, and this is our URL mapping of our class signature services. So this is kind of how we make the endpoint for our web services, which we call from the website, the post.com site. And now about this endpoint, Salesforce says that if I come here in the Salesforce document, this is get or domain URL. This is about domain URL. So Salesforce says that use domain URL to interact with Salesforce REST API or SOAP API. So that means he said that use this like domain URL. What is the benefit of using this like domain URL? We don't need remote site setting to interact Salesforce API. So I've tested this one, so that's why I never needed this the remote site setting for this URL, which is kind of dynamic, and this is dependent on the org where we are working. So it's like dependent on the client's org, so that means the client have to create a remote site setting. But because Salesforce don't need the domain URL as a remote site setting, so we don't need to create the second one. But the first one, this is where we got the error. Like it says that remote site setting is needed, and login.salesforce.com will be fixed. So that's why I had created a remote site setting in the main org site data access right here. But just I forgot to mention that this should be in the package. So now it is not in the package and it's causing issue, and I cannot add this in the PyCharm because we cannot add any new component in the PyCharm. So maybe when we cut a new package from main org, we should add this site data access in the package, so that we don't need the client to do anything. We don't need to ask the client. So remote site setting is, I think, will be solved. Now second issue, I think that was a silly thing. I thought I have added the namespace, but it was working in the main org, so I never noticed. Now I fixed it in the main org and patch org, and I created a new package from the patch org. And the next thing is that the credentials that you gave me for your test org is not working. So I created a new dev org and just started setting everything just like you and tested. So I'll talk about this in the next video. Thank you.